everyone, Sarah here, and welcome back. Thanks for joining me for the next video in this series. So we've taken a short break from this whole Q&A series for the holidays, and I really wanted to get back on track before the new year. So here are a few more questions that I really commonly ask the women that I speak with, and I'm also going to answer them for you today as just a part of this whole series that I'm doing. So the questions are, first of all, what was your explant experience like? And if you're watching this video on YouTube or Instagram, feel free to comment below and share your experience. And if you're seeing this by email, feel free to hit reply and share with me what your experience was like, good or bad. And so what was your experience like? What were your expectations going into your explant surgery? And then what changes have you seen, either good or bad, since your explant? So I had been doing a lot of research around breast implant illness and different surgeons and proper explant procedure and things like that for about 2 years before I decided to explant. And so for me, I had been sort of, following Dr. Ursola, and I just knew that Dr. Ursola in Costa Rica was the right surgeon for me. And I'm a really strong believer in going to the best specialist for what you need, whatever that may be. And so in my mind, that was Dr. Ursola. And I just knew after speaking with him and seeing a lot of his client testimonials, as well as just the kind of vibe that I got from him, and knowing and having confidence in him, and just knew that he would take the best possible care of me. And so I scheduled my explant surgery with him and had my implants removed on October 11th, 2017. And that was exactly 6 years after I had them placed. And I felt really, really good about my decision. Still, I feel really great about my decision, and I'm really happy with my results. Dr. Ursola is so kind and compassionate and really makes every effort to give you the best possible outcome. And that's a big reason why I chose him. And so my implants were 350 cc silicone with subpectoral placement. And he did an en bloc resection with liposuction and fat transfer. No lift. I didn't really want to do that. And I have really good skin integrity. So both of us, Dr. Ursola and I, both thought that I wouldn't need it. And I really didn't. I don't believe I retained any of my fat transfer. And speaking now at the, more than 4-year mark post-explant, I really definitely have lost all of it, which is fine. I would say, regardless of whether I kept it or lost it, I really don't have any regrets whatsoever. And I would say, my skin tightened up quite nicely. I didn't really probably need to do the fat transfer. And I really do have a newfound love for my small breasts. And, one of my clients even told me recently that she thought that her small and real breasts felt so much more special somehow. And I tend to agree. I really, truly feel the same way. It's just this newfound appreciation. And now I even wonder, what was I even thinking getting those ridiculous looking things in the first place? It's just so funny, like how we grow and change over time. So after my surgery, as far as like what I experienced, good or bad, I would say, my friends and family said that they could really already see a difference in me pretty quickly. And they said that I seemed softer, more relaxed, yet energetic, mentally sharper, happier, and just brighter. And so I would say it was about a month before I started to really feel recovered from my surgery, but I knew the work wasn't finished yet. There's just still a lot of work to be done to get the body back in balance after explant. And so I did a lot of that work. I put a lot of effort into nutrition, different healing dietary strategies, deep cellular detoxification work, addressing, different hidden infections, restoring my immune system function, reducing stress in my life, working on my mindset, healing emotional wounds from the past, different things like that. So none of those things is more important than the other. They're all equally as important in order for healing. And I've been able to reverse, I would say almost all of my symptoms, and including the Hashimoto's diagnosis I was given. So really, really amazing. I feel like just night and day different. That didn't come instantaneously for me. It took a lot of work and time and commitment, dedication, effort, just working towards the things that I needed to work on and making progress over time. Another really great blessing that came from this experience was what transpired between my husband and I while I was in Costa Rica. And so we had 2 nights together before my surgery, much of which was spent just connecting on a more mental, emotional level over just everything we'd gone through in the past 6 years. And it was a lot, it was all kind of culminating to this one moment of which relief was what we were anticipating. So all the stress, all the emotion was just coming to a head as we did what we believed God was leading us to do. And we truly connected on a completely different level than ever before. And I really left Costa Rica feeling more hopeful, more loved, and more cherished than ever. So that was really amazing. And my point in sharing this, and the rest of my story for that matter, is that I really feel so blessed to have gone through this struggle. And I truly thank God for it, because it's what brought me a level of health that I had never realized, a level of emotional intimacy that I didn't know was even possible. And I experienced, so much that gave me that expertise to be able to help others who are struggling like I was. And I really believe that God pursued me in my pain. And so for that, I'm really thankful as well, because I have just developed this closeness with my Creator that I hadn't experienced before. Now, unfortunately for me, the healing journey didn't end with explant surgery. As I mentioned, it's very common for a lot of additional work to be needed post-explant in order to heal. And so I had developed stage 4 endometriosis. And it may have been something that had been underlying before my breast implants, but I never had any symptoms before the breast implants. So I attribute it to the implants. And so it had gotten so bad that, stage 4 means that there was organ involvement. And so it had gotten so bad that I needed the surgery to remove it all. So if you don't know what endometriosis is, it's basically when endometrial tissue implants in different parts of the body where it doesn't belong. And that causes a lot of pain on a daily basis. And for me, it was causing a lot of digestive issues, a lot of excruciating pain around my menstrual cycles, and just made it incredibly unbearable to really plan much out in public or going out with friends or doing anything really fun, because I was just so miserable all the time. And my uterus was so inflamed and inhospitable that I just knew there was no way that I was going to be able to get pregnant unless I had all these lesions removed. And so some things just need medical intervention. When you get to a place where things are too far gone, sometimes medical intervention is necessary. And at this point, for me, body parts had to be removed in order to keep the disease from spreading even further. And so this was just kind of that last thing that I wanted to do and really needed to do. And, I was really happy to get my breast implants removed, because I just knew that was a piece of the puzzle that needed to happen. And I was ready mentally, emotionally, physically. I knew I was ready. This surgery, I was not happy about. I was not excited about it. I was not looking forward to it. Another surgery, more antibiotics, more general anesthesia, more recovery time, so it was just devastating that I needed to do this, but it's something that I felt really strongly about. It needed to be done. And I had tried every holistic and alternative and functional medicine approach or method that you could possibly imagine, and to no avail. It was still there, still lingering. And typically that's the case with endometriosis. You typically can utilize tools to get the inflammation and the pain down, or maybe even non-existent, but that doesn't mean the disease isn't still there. So this was kind of that final piece of the puzzle for me. And luckily, I had 2 really excellent surgeons for my excision surgery. And I'm really happy to say that I'm fully recovered and finally moving forward in life with 0 pain or any PMS symptoms or any unwanted symptoms at all regarding my menstrual cycle. So that's been a huge life-changing decision. I can't even tell you how amazing. I mean, that was more impactful than my explant surgery. I'll be honest, because of how incredibly miserable I was before that. So, and now, how am I doing now? And I would say, like I said, there were things that people noticed who knew me really well about me initially, right after surgery, some shifts that had happened within me and my body and how that looked and came out, my energy. But I, had done a lot of work leading up to my explant, and the explant to me was just that last remaining like internal stressor that needed to be removed. And so I did that and didn't necessarily feel all that different right away. And it did take a lot of time, especially given the fact that I still needed to have excision surgery for endometriosis. That was really the turning point for me. And that recovery was very, very long. It was about 6 months. And my recovery from explant surgery was about a month. So a much longer process, a much more invasive, aggressive surgery. And like I said, body parts had to be removed. So the recovery was long. And those two things combined with all of the different, detox work and dietary work and just taking really good care of myself and cleaning up my lifestyle and cleaning up all the products in my home and all of that work that I did, addressing chronic infections and everything, had set me up for a really good recovery and just a better healing journey afterward. And so, I did continue that work post-explant. And then again, I kind of took it back up again after I had my excision surgery after that healing period. And now, I'm feeling better than I have in years. And I started feeling really good at about the 1 year point post-explant. And then just, better and better as I continued the work and time went on. So, I no longer have things like heart palpitations, anxiety, mood swings, digestive issues, chemical sensitivity, brain fog, forgetfulness, frequent urination, IBS, Hashimoto's, all those different things that I was dealing with. And that's not by any means an exhaustive list, but all of those things are gone. And I really don't deal with those at all anymore. And I think that I finally feel like my free-spirited self again. And the personal growth that I've experienced through all of this was also so unexpected and just really a pleasant surprise. It didn't break me. This whole experience did not break me. And it really, truly has made me who I am today. And now I really enjoy helping other women like me get to this place post-explant. Healing does take time, even when you're, doing all the right things. So I have a couple of photos that I'm going to post along with this video that you'll be able to see that show, what I looked like after, 1 month post-op, basically 1 month after my explant surgery. So that's the first photo. And then the second photo is of me about 6 months post-explant after a lot of detox work and gut work and pathogen work and dietary work and sleep and all of that and just healing. Right before basically I went in for my excision surgery. So, the explant wasn't the end of my work, of course, but I want to share this with you because I hope it encourages you to remain hopeful, remain persistent in your journey, in your healing journey. And if you're not seeing immediate improvement in your symptoms after explant, just know that, there may be something else going on that is a part of your picture. Like myself, I had the endometriosis that needed to be dealt with. I had other things going on as well. And so then the question is, what do you do if you're still suffering with symptoms post-explant and you've gone through, the on bloc, you've had all of that capsule removed and you're still sick? There's a lot of information already out there about breast implant illness, what it is, why it happens, and we don't even fully understand with 100% certainty why it happens. We have a lot of theories that still need a lot more research. And then even things you can do to restore your health after explant. That's also things you're going to find on the internet and in different Facebook groups. But, what if learning all you can and doing all of those things that are suggested out there on the World Wide Web fails? What if it's not enough? What if you're still not making progress and, going it alone isn't getting you anywhere? If I hadn't addressed many of my health issues prior to my implants coming out, I would have been addressing them after. And there were still things that lingered that I continued to address after. And you have to address the downstream effect of having breast implants and also address any additional hidden stressors that are contributing to dis-ease in the body. Breast implants are, of course, endocrine disruptors and immune system dysregulators that cause a state of metabolic chaos in which every single system of the body begins to adapt, and that results in symptoms. It's not your body failing you. It's not your body breaking down. It's adaptation. It's your survival mechanism. But that's not the end of the story. It's not just about, the breast implants. There are typically many other stressors that come together to create this perfect storm situation in which the body is forced to adapt. Given my experience, as well as, hearing countless other people's experiences in trying to heal their bodies alone, I always recommend working with a holistic health expert who really has the experience in supporting women recovering from breast implant illness. I can't overemphasize that enough. And what I want you to know is that I truly believe that our bodies were designed perfectly. The body, when given what it needs and removing the causal factors, has an innate intelligence to self-heal and return to a state of ease rather than dis-ease. If one of the causal factors or root causes of your chronic illness is your breast implants, then of course removing them and then addressing any additional hidden stressors is the most effective approach to resolving your symptoms and restoring your health. The key is to work at a root cause level. Okay. And the three biggest root causes of chronic illness in today's world are toxicity, different types of infections, and different types of traumas. Of course, the breast implants fall into all of those categories, in my opinion, but there are others. And I think for women who've had breast implants, shame can even play a part here. Shame is one of those emotions that can be so internalized and can be so deep rooted, and it needs to be addressed. So if these are the things that are making people sick, we need to be addressing them all in a very comprehensive and holistic way by doing things like opening up your drainage pathways, supporting biochemical detoxification pathways, actively detoxing the body at the cellular level, removing any sources of toxic exposures that remain present beyond the breast implants, addressing chronic infections, and that can be coming from the breast implants or other sources, healing the gut, restoring immune function, and dealing with mental, emotional toxicity and mindset. And then, of course, we need good quality sleep, hydration, nutrition, sunlight, and an appropriate type and amount of exercise to heal. So the most important thing to remember is our unique biochemistry. Also, I think it's important to remember that your body is a miracle. And working with a knowledgeable practitioner who can give you a personalized approach that is tailored to your specific needs will get you well on your way to healing. So I hope that helps. If you need any support, don't hesitate to reach out and request a discovery call with me. There is an application process to that discovery call, but I'm happy to share the link to that. And I'd love to hear your personal stories, because you just never know who's reading these comments. And it could be your story could really resonate for someone else, and someone may see themselves in your story, and that might be their light bulb moment. So feel free to post below in the comments and share, what your story was like, what your explant experience was like, and how you're doing. And reach out if you need support. We're here for you, and I hope this helps. All right, until next time, talk to you soon. Bye-bye.